This is gonna be more of a informational kind of see where we at, see what's been unfolding part. We're gonna have this type of episode every few episodes as we get deeper into the story. As of right now, I'm putting this episode on the playlist. This is part 4. Part 4 is officially on the playlist, and I'm gonna make sure that right now. One second, guys. Okay. So yeah, so we have campaign season part 4. That's what we're on. Please go watch campaign season part 1 through part 3. It is really, really amazing, and I can't believe we're here. Like, I feel like I'm still playing a beta, but I'm not. I'm playing the actual game. And the differences between the game and the beta have definitely stuck out. And like I said, I've been nothing less than impressed with this game. I haven't ran into anything wrong. I haven't ran into anything that just makes me feel like I think this game has exceeded expectations. Now again, we're only at the beginning of the story, but the way that they've been building this story, and yes, this is stuff we already been knowing, but now we're getting into that territory where we start seeing stuff that we haven't seen before. We're not there yet. I think these next couple of missions or next whatever, but it's gonna have things we haven't seen mixed into that, and then once we get through those, then we'll finally, the story will start unfolding. So first thing first, we're gonna check out this room. Yeah, damn, she can shut up. I'm a explorer type of player, so I like to look at all the details, try to find Easter eggs and everything. Yes, you're living in a closet. Okay, so she said she wondered who stayed here before. Now, when she said that in the beta, I immediately thought Hawkeye, until I started snooping around the helicarrier in the beta and found out that Hawkeye has his own room with his logo on it. So nobody could have stayed here. Well, somebody obviously stayed here. There's 2 beds right here. As my guess, I could say like War Machine or some kids, maybe Spider-Man and his trainees. Like, there's no limit. Like, I don't know what direction they're going, but they're obviously going the direction where it's the mile high road. You know what I mean? They're doing stuff that the MCU would have not been able to do as great. If that makes sense. So let's turn on this music, because I think that's what she finna do.
I should go talk to Bruce. Or I could look around somewhere and some of the doors are working.
Alright, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But before I walk out here, okay, I'm lost. I thought I could go to my skill sets and stuff, but I guess not. So I guess we're walking. And we're gonna start over here. Okay, my room. This is Captain America's room. Of course, RIP. So I'm staying, RIP for now, till we find him. So I'm staying next door to Cap's old room. We go down here. I believe this direction through these doors is the Quinjet and stuff. There's another war table right there that I believe is going to be like a second war table or something for like when we get more heroes. And let's see. Don't know room this could be. Probably another closet. This is Iron Man's room. So it's interesting that Tony stayed right across from Cap. I can just see the Civil War still oozing off of their bodies sometimes. Like whenever you see Cap and Iron Man interact with each other, you can tell if it's post-Civil War or pre-Civil War. And I just love that Civil War will always be a part of their timeline. Okay, so now we get down here, there's names. See, this is Hawkeye's room, right under Kamala's room. I'm just now noticing the names at the top. Does Cap have his name? Or is it just blacked out? Yep. Captain Rogers. And then Tony Stark, right? Yep, okay, so I'm just now noticing the names. So we got Clint Barton, Hawkeye, next to Thor Odinson, which is Thor. Over here we got Black Widow next to Bruce. Interesting right here. I know they've been sneaking around. Okay, so let's open this crate. Cool stuff. Let's go in Bruce's room. Bruce's room is all peaceful.
Looks like Hulk left this one alone. Still looks pretty nice in here. Or Bruce is just a super fast cleaner.
See if we can find anything interesting. Yeah, some books right here. Hold on. Oh, we can go to the menu now. But anyways, he has some books right here. Stark family history. Okay. Let's see, a comic book looks like. He's been studying his Hulk. We probably end up getting a Professor Hulk. Who knows? His bathroom, which is cool, but I feel like there's cameras on that bathroom once they have schematics and all that extra shit in your mirror. I know they at least have a camera to see you showering and shit. But anyways, before we go out here, now I can't do it. Okay, whatever. Alright, so let's start right here in objectives. So let's start our skills then. How many skills do we have? We have one, so let's see which one we want to get. The double kick down looks nice. Kamala's a beast, man. She's a beast. Okay, so these are upgrades to the heroic abilities, which is pretty cool, pretty sick. And then mastery. This is where stuff gets real technical. Pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to gear. Let's put on the best gear. I'm gonna put on this because it's actually Pim Tech. And I need to remember to start dismantling. I always dismantle. If you're not this level 1 gear, you're not gonna wear it ever again. You're only gonna get higher, and you're not gonna put on nothing if it's not higher than what you already got. So once you pass these things up, especially something as weak as this level 1 gear, dismantle it. Get in the habit of dismantling your stuff just to be more efficient with your equipment. Just a few tips there. What we got right here? Stark. Is that Stark Tech or just blue? Yeah, I'd rather wear that. got that. And we got that. So I'm finna dismantle the weak stuff, so we don't have that in the way. Try to keep one in the slot. Okay. Best gear. We have some artifacts right here. I don't remember putting that there. I actually had that there on the beta, but I think it was for Black Widow. I don't know. I don't know how that got there. Anyways, cosmetics. I think I bought this outfit. So I think it's appropriate to put this outfit on her because she's actually been to the helicarrier. She has a room, so I feel like she will upgrade to a suit next time she steps out. But I do need to get the skin where she has her little hat on. I do need to look at those, but I'm going to equip this as our first equipped skin for our characters. Emotes. So emotes is down. Okay, cool. Takedowns. I really love that we can have different takedowns. I love that. I can see how these characters are going to be more unique from other people's characters now that I'm analyzing everything in a full game. Okay, so I want a badass Kamala Khan. I want my Kamala Khan to be badass, so we're going to do that. Alright, collections. I don't think we got any new collections. This is new. Pretty cool. The comic books are so great. I expressed this during the beta season. I love the comic book features. Alright, so let's get on to intelligence. This is where we start having fun, guys. Alright, so this says 8-day preparations. So let's that says part 1. That says, ooh, Hank Pym is in that. Alright, so an interview with Captain America. Let's listen. Okay, so one thing, this game has let me down on anything, but one of the expectations that have surpassed that I always said was the acting and the voice acting in these characters. These Avengers do not feel like a copycat of the movies. These Avengers feel very original, and they feel like the Avengers from the comics and the cartoons and the animated movies that we've grown. Like, I feel like I'm playing and watching another animated movie, but really a really good one. So, with that being said, Captain America is becoming my favorite character of this story so far. I love his demeanor, and I love the way he's walking his walk. And we all know he can, I mean, the way he's talking his talk, and we all know he can walk his walk. So, as he is explaining what's going on, first of all, he's talking to Phil, which is the reporter that was in the beginning of the, I think, part 1 or it was in part 1. And He's also in the beginning of the famous Thor mission they showed in the first war table. So Cap is talking to him about them opening up their West Coast headquarters that AIM has taken over now, and of course the Terrigen, the Terrigen reactors, like this new energy that we're using. So you can see the side of the coin that Captain America was on. The last sentence is what he cares about. He doesn't care about the Terrigen reactor. He doesn't care about what it's called, what it does. That last sentence is what he cares about. Not only we will be more mobile, more able to react to danger, we're working towards improving the world in peacetime as well as in crisis. So like I said, probably in episode 3, these Avengers have been Avengers for at least 10 years. Or at least 7 to 10 years. I feel like we've already had a civil war, or if we haven't had it yet, we're going to have it in the future. Which explains why Cap and Iron Man and whatever, we don't even know what their relationship is like yet. But I think they're good. So I think this is pre-Civil War. So what I'm saying is, this is just showing the demeanor of Captain America, what we thought we was doing on A-Day. This is what he thought he was celebrating on A-Day. And we're gonna slowly find out what was the real intentions for this Terrigen reactor and the people who created it, and what was everybody's part. Because we know Tony always has a big part in these things, but Tony is really bad at looking and watching where his shit goes. He's really bad at letting other people take advantage of his shit. So we're gonna kind of slowly, release all that. Alright, so this is from Monica to Hank Pym. We haven't met Hank Pym in the story yet, but we know that's Ant-Man. We know he's running the Resistance. So Monica's, of course, we've talked about Monica. Used to date Bruce. Now she's kind of, they're kind of showing her as second in charge of AIM, but I like to read body language and read dialogue, and I sense tension between Monica and George Tarleton. So if MODOK becomes this villain, you can bet Monica is the one in his head not controlling him, but telling him what to do. It can either go that way, or MODOK is finally fed up with Monica. Monica's doing her own thing or whatever, but Monica and George are not on the same page as they seem. So let's listen to this, where she no, this is a letter from Hank Pym to Monica. So let's see what Hank has to say to her.
I don't appreciate starting history setting into my own backyard courtesy. Tony loves to play this all off like my natural love of the Avengers, but this whole thing reeks of his ego, just like the inside his tin cups. I know you work closely with him, and I don't want to sour your working relationship, but sometimes you'll find you just need to outmaneuver him. He's always going to construct a scenario where he's the hero on center stage. Him technology has been in the region similar to the energy generation, but he never even bothered to talk to us because it's all him, not the science. Public will lead it out. Anyway, I'm glad you reached out. You could use someone who knows what he's capable of. Just want to make sure he doesn't take advantage of it. He's good at it.
Okay, so this is interesting. So Monica reached out to Hank first, and this is Hank's reply. So first of all, this is where we start unraveling some clues about what's really going on between the lines. Like I said, I just said that Monica is secretly may be the real boss over George Tarleton. The way she's acting, the way she's walking, I'm just able to pick up on that. So my hypothesis, if you will, Monica reached out to Hank because she knows they're working with Tony with this Terrigen mist. Tony is like Hank says, what Hank is saying, he's not lying. Tony can be selfish. So I said these might be Avengers for a while, but I'll say they've been Avengers at least 5 years before 8A, and it's 4 years after that, so about 10 years. So he's not lying. Tony is all those things that Hank just said in this letter, but Monica is using the PIM technologies and the Stark Industry beef to her advantage to pin Hank and Tony against each other, to keep the attention off what AIM is actually trying to do. So of course Hank sends her this letter, going in on Tony and everything. But if you just stick with me, guys, I will give y'all the bigger picture, what I think is going to happen. And we might not be 100% right, but we're going to be damn close. Okay, I'm paying attention to everything, making sure I don't miss nothing now in that letter. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Okay, so that was 8A preparations. Okay, so this is the Avengers disband. This is going to be interesting. Alright, so we have Senate hearing day 1, Senate hearing 2. Alright, Agent Wu to Agent Sai, and then Senate hearing day 10. Alright, so let's listen to day 1 and day 2. I mean, day 1, part 1 and part 2. Okay, so they're obviously sorry about that. Put that back up there for y'all. Okay, so they're having the hearing. He's asking who's going to speak for the Avengers with the absence of Captain America. So he goes to Black Widow. Now, first of all, Tony Stark Iron Man is always number 2 in the absence of Captain America. Tony already pays for everything, but he lacks the leadership that Captain America is an expert at. And so being a leader is Cap's, that's his sanctuary. But when Cap is absent, if anything happens to Cap, best believe Tony Stark is second in command, stepping up, making a play. Now, it might be Black Widow who's making sure Tony's doing the right thing, making sure he's not getting too big of a head and fucking anything up. So that's what Black Widow's normally there for, to make sure shit is still flying straight. So I understand why Black Widow is going to speak for the Avengers, because she would be the most reasonable choice. Obviously, also nothing on Hawkeye yet. Haven't seen any clues towards Hawkeye. Where was he on 8A, before 8A, after 8A? Haven't seen anything about that yet. So anyways, let's go to part 2.
When was the last time you had contact with Mr.
A few weeks after 8A.
And at that point, what did he have to say?
He blamed himself. Us. Cap's death. He said he was going out on his own. Find another way to do good with people in danger. We already had some generations who put his hand around Cap's statue. You already know.
Okay, so Thor went rogue, or he went away. That's nothing new. He put his hammer on the statue, which is why the statue is the only one left standing. So, okay. Again, that brings us back to the set pieces of the Heroes Park and everything. Everything we've played through so far has been so beautiful. Can't wait till we go to places that we haven't seen, or even just the places that you can think of, like Wakanda and the space station, just different stuff, bro. But yeah, this is all about Thor's gone. Okay, so this is to Agent Wu from Agent Psy. So if you've seen Avengers Age of Ultron, the Asian lady that helped Ultron create Vision, that's Agent Wu, if I'm not mistaken. Agent Psy, I'm very blurry on Agent Psy. I could look it up real quick, but I'm not going. We're gonna listen to this real quick.
We're leaving everything behind. All the hardware, the drives, everything. I don't like this anymore from you, but given the circumstances, I don't think we have a choice. He'll give you one exception. Quinjet F-530 should be scrubbed from the manifest. No one from AIM knows it's here. For your other concern, we'll flush the network before we shut the lights off. It's clear AIM's not on the same priorities as us, so I'm not taking chances. We've had shakeups before, but I'll be honest, since 8-8, this is uncharted territory for us all. In 6 months, my guess is S.H.I.E.L.D. will be dissolved entirely. I know you're freaked out. That's good. So am I. I need you to keep up your appearances. I've got your back.
Okay, so like I said, Agent Wu was the Asian lady from Age of Ultron. She's also in the comic book. She also has a son or something like that. It's all the hardcore comic book fans know what I'm talking about. So listen, Agent Psy is obviously a fellow agent. These are agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. So they're talking about what they did when they had to leave the helicarrier, had to leave everything behind because S.H.I.E.L.D. had to go underground because AIM was taking over everything. So that's basically what this embodies, the movement of S.H.I.E.L.D., how we're always prepared for anything. And that's why Nick Fury is such a legendary character, because he's never caught off guard, really. So anyways, back to the Senate hearing. We have Dr. Banner's statement finally. I don't know if this is the one from the trailers and what we heard earlier, but let's see. Okay, so this is interesting. Alright, so pay attention to that first line of the second paragraph. It says, "It is my intention." So we know Bruce and Tony has had a falling out over this Senate hearing. So it's important to stick to what is these characters' intentions and what are they fighting for, what are they defending. So Bruce tells his intentions right here. It says, "It is my intention to abide by the ruling of this committee, and I will take the necessary steps to ensure the dissolution of our organization." Basically what he's saying is, this is my intention. If we have to stop the Avengers and put an end to it, that's fine, as long as, if you keep reading, I just hope someday the world can forgive us. I got lost. Okay, so the last sentence of the first paragraph, it says, "But I do hope my actions today will help prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again." That's the main thing. That's the main thing that Bruce wants to make sure yes, he has guilt on his heart. Yes, he feels like everybody had a, blood on their hands or whatever. But again, Bruce just found out that Charlton locked Cap in that room. He just found out from Kamala. So this is gonna spin everything on its head. Now, when we meet Tony, we'll have to analyze his intentions for what happened. And I think Tony has a lot of explaining to do because he's involved pretty heavily in this. Alright, so that was the Avengers disband, the rise of AIM. News report excerpt, AIM's tech renaissance. Sorry, so I think this is when they finna do their kind of like their expo,
In just 5 years, advanced IT mechanics has top technology markets across the spectrum, from personal electronics and medical devices to self-driving vehicles, eclipsing their competitors, a dizzying release schedule, and remarkably effective supply chain. AIM is now poised to transform the lives of most of the planet. The lion's share of the company's advances have come from the mind of brilliant CEO George Charlton. But equally important is his partner and CTO, Monica, the mastermind behind AIM's now renowned R&D. Together, they have secured several lucrative government contracts.
Okay, so some new things about Monica. She is his partner. So there is, like, yes, George is the CEO and Monica's the CTO, but they are on equal platforms up there. Trust me, they are. And if you're paying attention, George is going through a disease right now. He's becoming weak in terms of physicality, and Monica is growing into that leadership spot. She wants to take over this AIM company. I could go as far as to say if she has to go through George to do it. And also it says she's the mastermind behind AIM's now re-owned R&D group, which means I don't even know what the R&D group is, but if she's the mastermind, which means she's actually making plays in the office and making moves, and obviously doesn't need George's approval to do anything. So be on the lookout for Monica. She's been more of a villain to me in this story so far than George has. Alright, so this is Kamala Khan's stuff right here. We're just gonna let it play. I don't really have much to say about it. I think it'll just be pretty cool to see what she be thinking and stuff. And I'll comment on whatever I think is interesting. Okay, so this is basically one of those depression commercials where they're like, if you or the loved one have mesothelioma, you could be entitled blah blah blah. This is kind of the AIM version of that. So it has this guy who was clearly an actor. He says, before I had the procedure, I couldn't control myself. My parents were terrified of me. 2 hours after the procedure, I was walking laps around. Like, that's clearly an actor. Like, a real person wouldn't. That's not how they will say it. And I don't know if it's just me, and I can pick on words. I can pick up on words. I can pick up on body language, and I can pick up on voice tones. I can tell when something's not authentic. And this commercial isn't authentic, but it's pretty cool because it is Marvel and it is AIM, and they're really involved with this world, and I love it. Alright, so this is her journal, Kamala.
Papa noticed the blood pressure check I borrowed last week was missing. But assumed Donnie misplaced it and it'll turn up. It's not like he needs to use it anymore. It's just a precaution when he had heart attacks later. So far, according to the internet, my blood pressure's normal. Since we pulse and temperature, thanks to that children's thermometer I found in the bathroom cupboard. I'm trying to think of what else it takes to see Donnie is sick. That would involve stealing more medical equipment.
Okay, so this is Kamala's journal. One thing interesting about it is her dad had what did she say? A heart attack and stuff. So she's worried about her health. Of course, she's turning into an inhuman. So at the bottom, the last paragraph, it says, I also kind of wish Abu would let me talk to him more about this stuff, but he wants to pretend. So basically, her dad, he almost lost his daughter that day, trying to take her somewhere that trying to give her her dreams, basically. So at this point, he just wants to protect her at all costs. And this is why he wanted her to go on a trip with her friend or her sister or whatever. He wanted her to go on a trip so she can clear her head and get away from all this AIM business and all this Avengers business. So, as a father, you can't do nothing but understand where her father is coming from. Let's go to the next one. This is her comic book that she wrote for the Avengers. Alright, that's a cool story. First of all, Thor, nobody likes pineapple on the pieces, so stop that. Second of all, Captain Marvel is... her presence is felt so much through Miss Marvel that I can feel like that's like her and Captain Marvel is like me and Hawkeye, you know. And I love that connection she has, so it's giving us the opportunity to have that same connection with our favorite Avengers, and I commend this game on that. And beautiful comic book so far. Can't wait to unlock the other parts. So let's make sure we got everything. I think that was okay. Codex, these are enemy types. The only enemy types we're really gonna read is enemies like Taskmaster and other enemies. I think Abomination should be on here. So yeah, we'll see what these two are about. Now I said Taskmaster has some history with Black Widow, so I want to know if it's gonna if he's gonna address that in his bio. But it says Tony Masters, aka Taskmaster, was once a ranked and file shield agent with the special skills for mimicking the abilities of his target. But because of his aggressive attitude and questionable methods, he was dishonorably discharged. Hoping to one day exact revenge on his former employer, Taskmaster saw his fortunes on the independent market selling his skills, so he became a hired killer or whatever. But he used to work for SHIELD, he used to be a trainer and all that. Nothing about Black Widow, but it does says his former employer, whoever that could be. Anyways, Abomination, former military spy. Blonsky, of course, we know his name. Volunteer for AIMS. Okay, so AIM made Abomination. Okay. Look, guys, bro, I'm telling you. Like, it says, under the direction of Monica. Bro, Monica is running this show. You think MODOK's running the show? Monica's running the show. I'm telling you, her name is on everything. Anyways, the experiments transformed him permanently into Abomination, an extremely strong and physically imposing monster. But unlike the counterpart, the Hulk, Abomination retained the memories and intellect of his human form. Okay? Pretty cool. pretty cool. So if anything we unlocked from this is Monica's running the show, that's the main thing we should take from this. And I might even rename this episode to Monica's running the show, because I want to make sure I called it. And this is what episode, what? This is episode 4, right? Right? Shit. Alright, yeah, it's episode 4. So I might rename this episode to Monica's running the show right now. I put Monica's running the show, not MODOK. And once you guys watch it, and you'll see, I just proved it. I literally just proved it. And this is, yes, this is a hypothesis, but at this point it's facts, because of how many times it's just sticking out to me. So anyway, that's part 4. We can end it right here, and then part 5 we'll continue with the story. So appreciate y'all for watching, man. I love y'all, man. Subscribe and like and comment. If you don't want to do that, just go to my playlist, look for your favorite series, refresh, the latest episode should be there. And of course, somebody wants to set off their car alarm when I'm trying to do my ending, but fuck it.